But I think these two forces are teetering me back and forth. Perceived success countered by the forces of the demiurge. Every time I get some order, disorder creeps up and demolishes it. Hello, Happy New Year, and that's what I'm going to talk about today, is the past year actually, and a little bit in the new year. I'm going to do a tarot spread. I'm going to say this right off the bat that 2025 was less than stellar. It was a tough year. Maybe not the toughest that I've had, but definitely I felt it. I've had one year that was emotionally kind of devastating. I've had another year that was physically devastating. This one, I'm not even sure how to put it into words, actually. I will say this, I'm a little surprised that I'm still doing this channel after all the stuff that I've been through. There have been many instances where I feel like fate has really tried to shake me off of this. Not only this channel, but also my writing practice. I've been working on this novel for a while, and it has not been easy to do all this with how chaotic my life has been. I feel like the universe has been working against me almost intelligently, putting obstacles in my way at every turn. I mean, there have certainly been times in my life where I felt like things were rolling, and things were just kind of moving along. Whether that was good or bad, it was still moving. This year felt more like bumper cars or something. Like it just was really like disjointed and all over the place. But every year at this time, I try to do a tarot reading, and that's what I'm gonna do today. I think it's a good practice to get your head around what has happened and what might be coming, and just to get kind of face to face with the psychological kind of internal you. So my question for this reading is going to be, will 2026 be like 2025, or will I be moving out of it, out of this kind of bumper car situation? I know this though, I'm exhausted. I am totally exhausted on so many levels. Part of me wishes there were two of me. I think my life would be a lot better if there were. One to take care of all my life stuff, shopping, cleaning, bureaucratic stuff, family needs, etc. And the other version to do my artistic endeavors. It's just hard to do both. And I kind of feel like I'm spread too thin. I've always felt that way to a degree, but this past year has showed it to me very clearly. Anyway, let's get on with the reading. I use the Crowley deck mostly. I love the detail in it. And today I'm going to be using the Secret of the High Priestess spread. If you want to look into the cards and what they mean, I'm going to put this website above and also in the comments. This is one of my favorite sites for looking at the meanings of the cards when I don't have a book around. One reason I'm choosing this spread is because I feel like things have been working against me behind the scenes. This spread is supposed to reveal those kind of things. As you can see, it's a bit different than the Celtic Cross, if you know that spread. This one is more about hidden, unspoken, or something operating beneath awareness. It's also about veiled influences and unconscious forces, a lot like the High Priestess card. And it also deals with the illogical aspects of the world. So let's get into it. In this spread, there are two significators. The first two cards represent the main influences, the forces at play regarding the topic, which may complement or oppose each other. My first card is the Six of Discs, which is the moon in Taurus, and it means success. The number 6 means harmony, balance, and full expression. It represents the element's energy being properly established and functioning smoothly. The moon in Taurus is exalted, so it brings richness, stability, and beauty. Despite this, the moon also makes the situation temporary rather than permanent. I actually think this is quite important. The discs form a hexagram, symbolizing balance between above and below. At the center is a soft, dawn-like glow, suggesting life, warmth, and renewal. The surrounding colors, gold, pink, amber, show harmony fully manifested in the physical world. The planets are shown as discs reflecting the sun, which is actually important, and I will tie that together in a bit, but they're not acting independently. The sun at the center is represented as the rose cross. The rose has 49 petals, showing the interaction of 7 forces working through 7 levels. So what does this all mean? It means that things are working exactly as they should. The cards can tell me that, but I don't know. I don't know if I see it that way. I do and I don't. But this is about material balance, beauty, and right proportion. But it's not static and it's not guaranteed. It's about effort, resources, and conditions that are cooperating. The point is to enjoy the harmony, but know that it is not locked in place. Well, I haven't had harmony in a long time, so I think this is quite significant. I'm hoping the significator is very significant because I don't know, I need some harmony in my life. I just do. Significator number 2 is the second impulse. And in my case, it's lust and Leo. And when I saw this card, I was very shocked because I had been doing some stuff with this card for a different video that was on my insider circle. And so having it come up in the spread was a little bit of shock. This second impulse is about raw drive and instinct. This is courage, vitality, the will to act. Energy wants expression, not restraint. And that's really what I'm trying to do. When I'm writing a book, it's about self-expression. When I'm making videos, it's about self-expression. It's also an exploration. And it's also a kind of power. The power is not gentle here. It consumes and transforms. It is meant to be embraced, not feared. I think this impulse favors bold action over hesitation. Magic is involved. Willpower applied deliberately. The force is meant to be directed, not suppressed. And that's actually one thing I think I've been doing wrong, is I've been suppressing a lot of my emotions through this, trying to get them to not derail me and just to keep plowing forward. And I think this is the Demiurge card. You can see the lions and the archons with Babylon riding the beast. Babylon could also be seen as Sophia, a dark aspect of Sophia. I think this is the part of myself that knows what it wants and is willing to burn things down to get it. This is creative energy, sexual energy, dangerous energy, all very volatile if mishandled. If I use it consciously, it's empowerment. If I use it unconsciously, it becomes excess. And I feel like this has actually been working against me. Not in any worldly way, like in sexual conquests or falling into my addictions, not those kind of things. I've been quite disciplined actually, but I think these two forces are teetering me back and forth. Perceived success countered by the forces of the Demiurge. Every time I get some order, disorder creeps up and demolishes it. It reminds me of two children playing where one builds the sandcastle and the other one, the dickhead child, comes in and just smashes it down out of spite. That's how it feels. But this is not the best situation to be in creatively. It just isn't. For creative conditions, you need managed time, focus, freedom, uninterrupted longevity to things. Well, we'll see how this plays out. The third position is called the full moon. It is the current influence, which is the 8 of discs, the sun in Virgo, prudence. So this is about intelligence applied to material work, something like agriculture, craft, engineering. With my craft background, I think this is quite important. It suggests careful planning and mindful cultivation of my resources. This may mark a turning point, a shift, or a renewal in a cycle. It builds on the 7 of discs. The previous stage was full establishment, the start. This is preparation for transformation. Virgo is the seed, the fertile virgin earth awaiting action, like the plow, the phallic plow going through. Focus is on the practical, on the everyday concerns of ordinary people, which is something I've been dealing with a lot. And I think it's been kind of tearing me asunder, to be honest. On one hand, I have very lofty ambitions with my writing, with my videos, with my research, but the pressures of ordinary life keep getting in the way. They keep chipping away at it. I actually get this card quite a lot, but this is where intelligence and careful planning meet fertile potential. It's an emphasis on preparation, steady cultivation, and the promise of growth. It's small baby steps, is one way you can put it. Slow, methodical steps today can lead to large leaps tomorrow. I need to just trust in that. Easier said than done, maybe. The fourth position is the waxing moon. This is what is on the horizon. The Three of Cups. Mercury in Cancer, abundance. So this represents the Demeter Persephone archetypes, the fertility, abundance, and the cycles of life and death. The cups are pomegranates, overflowing with a single lotus from the dark sea. This symbolizes the fulfillment of the will of love and spiritual joy. Mercury in Cancer represents the word or will of the All-Father or monad as it descends on the receptive, emotional, and nurturing realm. This suggests mystery, some kind of subtle energy, hidden influences in life. A lot like the spread, actually. This is about guiding souls of the dead, connecting life, death, and wisdom. I think this is an odd but fitting card to get here. In my novel, I'm actually writing about the underworld journey of Persephone, so this is not a coincidence. It is a major plot point. I'm not going to say too much about it here, but getting this card really affected me. And the gist of it is you have to journey into the underworld before you can get the boon. And it's actually 3 stages. I feel like I've already went down, way down, maybe too far down. I feel like I'm coming back up. That's the second phase. So abundance, the third part, could be in my future or my near future. But one of the things that they say is that the deeper you go down into the underworld, the greater the treasure that you can receive. So I don't know. I've gone pretty goddamn deep, so we'll see. A quick heads up before we continue. For the new year, I'm doing a giveaway. The prize is a $25 Amazon gift card, as well as a 60-minute Zoom call with me. We can talk about Gnosticism, the occult, writing, publishing, whatever you want to talk about, whatever's on your mind. In return, I'm re-releasing a book and I could use some help. If this piques your curiosity, the full details are in the description. Now let's get back to the video. The 5th card is the waning moon. This is what I'm coming out of or what is passing. And it's the Prince of Discs in Taurus. This represents Earth in its intellectual, practical form, planning, cultivation, and mastery over material matters. In the left hand is the disc with symbols, careful calculation, and strategy. In the right hand is the orbed scepter with cross. This symbolizes completed work and accomplishment. Some traits for this card are being steadfast, persevering, competent, ingenious, thoughtful, or cautious. It's about seeking practical solutions, which I've tried to do. It's about adapting to circumstances, which I've also tried to do, but it's about doing those things methodically. It's about being emotionally restrained, which is something else that I've been struggling with. You may appear dull or insensitive to others, but it is a kind of deliberate grounding. Maybe you're slow to anger, but relentless once provoked, and that has actually been my mood. With the people around me, I've been very stoic and kind of hard and detached, probably more than I was in the past. I felt that it was necessary, not just for me, but for them. It's like I know where I'm going, I know where my path is, and explaining it all is just too much work. It's just too much. It's almost better to remain silent. It saves both parties a lot of trouble. Over the past few years specifically, but really for the past 20 years, I've trusted the slow, sure method. I've just kept doing my craft and just kept going. But others around me don't see the method to my madness. They perhaps think that I am living in some kind of fantasy. In fact, I think they see my life as in shambles. And, maybe it is in shambles. I don't know. I see it clearly, though. I see myself on the right track, just moving very slowly. Maybe the people around me want different things from me than what I want, if that makes sense. The 7th card is the light. So this is the conscious aspect. This is kind of what you see first, or what is above, and it's the 5 of Swords, Venus in Aquarius, which is defeat. The word defeat is an understatement, I think. The experience has been more like being thoroughly beaten or pummeled continuously, but this card represents intellectual or emotional struggle, and I've definitely been there. The causes for this could be pacifism, being too non-combative or passive, misplaced trust, putting your efforts in the wrong place, or treachery, outside forces acting upon you. In the symbolism, the hilts of the swords form an inverted pentagram, showing sinister or challenging forces. I think the archonic power machine has been working overtime on me. I think it's a little bit like the eye of Sauron. It's like turned onto me now, and it's focuses attention. That could be paranoia, but it definitely feels odd compared to prior phases of my life. These swords are crooked, broken, or drooping. They're powerless or misaligned. Only the lowest sword points up, and it's ineffective. Previous harmony, the rose, has collapsed. Order and clarity have been lost. So I think this has come into the light, which is a good thing. Whenever you shed light on something, you understand it better. But it's also about brutal honesty. And I think for me, it's about confronting mental exhaustion. I just need to confront all these things about why I feel this way. I think this is a time of harsh lessons and also shattered illusions. But there needs to be a recalibration. I know that for certain. I read the 7th card first because I think it was more important in the way that this unfolds. But the 6th card is the dark. This is not fully seen. It's what's working behind the scenes, under the surface. And this card is the sun. So this is what is underneath. This is about giving your light freely. Obstacles, shadows, and doubts don't block your essence. I have to remember this. This is about balancing opposites, balancing speech and silence, balancing energy and stillness. It's also about positive outcomes, glory, success, recovery. I can't see it yet. I really can't. I'm still kind of in a weird place. Number 8 is the next step. This is where the journey will take me. And this card is the 6 of Swords, Mercury in Aquarius, which is science. This is about the establishment of your intellect, reason, and humanity. It symbolizes perfect harmony of your mental or moral faculties. And I think this is quite difficult to achieve and maintain. This is about science, knowledge, clarity, disciplined understanding. I actually feel this way. I feel like my Gnostic studies are more science than spirituality or religion. Everyone around me sees it as this weird thing that I've tried to investigate, maybe something that they're a little bit afraid of and they don't really know why I'm doing it. I almost see it as a dissertation. Like I'm gonna be a doctor by the time this is all done. Like that's kind of how I feel. But a doctor to doctor myself, to be able to walk the straight and narrow path. I think the symbolism of this card is very telling. The sword hilts form a hexagram. They are touching a red rose on a golden cross of 6 squares. It's the rosy cross at the center, representing the secret of truth and mastery. It's intellectual and moral equilibrium. It's about thoughts, ethics, and insight all aligning. So there is a 9th card in this spread that is the secret of the High Priestess, but only if the card is major arcana, and mine was not. Mine was the Princess of Discs, so I won't get the Wonka golden ticket. I don't get the secret, but that's okay. Actually, I think that was the right move in a way by the universe. I think that part of the point of all this has been that I don't get the secret, that I keep plugging away despite all of that. I actually think this is quite educational. And that's the thing with the tarot. It's not about telling the future per se. It's about figuring out where you are in the cycle. It's about sorting out the psychological muck. I think the lesson here for me is that I'm always gonna have these mundane things pulling at me. I always have, and in the last few years, I've had more, but I always will, I think, also. Taking on the responsibility of this channel, added on top of my writing career and my teaching, has made me feel like I'm being pulled in several directions at once. I definitely need to simplify my life somehow. I'm just not exactly sure how to do that. The problem is I don't want to give any of them up. I mean, maybe I would give up the teaching, but the other 2 I definitely don't want to give up. But I also think the teaching is something I'm supposed to do too, so I don't know. I think my outside life takes on the brunt of this kind of problem though. I'm just gonna have to try to get more efficient and not let these outside forces chip away at me. And I also have to balance my emotions within this somehow. But that's all I got for this. If you have any insight, you can post that below, or if you want to say anything about any of the cards, you can also talk about that. But that's all I got. Take care, have a good day.